Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Wanted to chat with you about the gorgeous weather we are having today. I kind of just want to chat about that all day long because it's just so beautiful out there, and why can't we have this desk outside, right? But that being said, almost time for spring break. So hopefully the weather we're experiencing today follows you wherever you're going for your travels. Joining us to chat a little bit more about best practices for staying safe out there when you are traveling wherever your final destination may take you for spring break is Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Josh, thanks again for joining us on this Monday this time.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Jacqueline. I don't know that I want to go anywhere for spring break if it's always going to feel like today.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just the perfect day to chat about that. But unfortunately, here in the Midwest, what I've learned anyway is enjoy the 70 days during, the winter months while you've got it, because it probably won't last for too long, unfortunately. So let's chat a little bit about best practices. So, we always talk about scammers. I mean, never a dull moment for scammers out there. What are some, tips you can give, let's say like college students, right, getting ready for that trip? What are some tips you can give them just kind of off the bat, Josh?
Yeah, so you're really going to want to lock your doors and your windows if you're leaving for an extended period of time. That's a really good place to start, is making sure your house is secured. You can ask a neighbor to keep an eye on your home. That's super useful when you're away and maybe packages are being delivered. The hope is that they aren't, but in the odd chance that they are, you want to make sure that that's not a giveaway that nobody is home. And then one thing that's a little bit counterintuitive for many of us is to avoid posting travel plans on your social channels. I know we're
Right.
all very excited to go to, the Caribbean or wherever, spring break may take you, but that does give up a lot of information, a lot of useful information for someone who might be, say, interested in checking out your apartment or your house
Right.
while you're away, right? So you want to make sure that that information is secure. And then if you're a college student, you're looking to travel for the first time, maybe you're looking for that best rate. You want to make sure that that travel site is legitimate, that that hotel site is legitimate, the rental site is legitimate. There's a lot of really great deals out there, specifically targeting college students around spring break. And some of them are real, and sadly, some of them aren't, right? So you want to know that you're signing up for something that is going to lead to a great time and not the thought of a great time.
Right, exactly. You want to make sure you're really going here to the Caribbean, let's say, and not, some seedy hotel room somewhere else that you didn't anticipate. I'll just say that. So I kind of wrote this down, but there are three things, a top five list, I guess, on the website on the link that you sent me, and one of them is let's see, vacation rental cons, free vacation scams, and it goes on from there. Can you chat about those two for us here, real quick?
Yeah, there are a lot of great rental opportunities out there, but there are also people who have, I mean, a lot of that information is publicly available, right? So if you see an Airbnb that looks perfect and it's at a rate that is also perfect, you do want to make sure that that rental does in fact exist. A lot of that information is scraped from the internet and repurposed on sites that maybe you haven't heard of. So like not an Airbnb, not a VRBO, and because the images look legitimate, you're that much more inclined to give it the benefit of the doubt. So
Sure.
we do see a lot of like fake rentals around this time of year because many folks aren't looking to spend a fortune to stay at a hotel or to stay at a listing, on the beach, right? So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that that place actually does take tenants. It is rentable. They do have a proven track record. So that's something certainly to be on the lookout for, is that the place that rest your head at night is in fact a place that's available.
Right, right, exactly. You don't want any of those. I mean, especially if you're traveling overseas. I mean, you really have to double, triple check that stuff to make sure where you're resting your head, like you said, is really where you're resting your head, and the amenities that they say on the site are actually there are really there when you show up. So, good call there for sure. Let's chat kind of in depth about third-party booking site scams. So, Josh, what does that mean exactly, and what are some red flags that we should look out for?
Yeah, so there are a lot of websites out there that'll offer uh, kind of the full package, right? So the airfare, the hotel, the lodging, the excursions, and that's fantastic. A lot of companies make their money over spring break doing these things. but these opportunities are not in and of themselves the place you're staying at, right? So they're a third party that offers discounted rates. And a lot of travel agencies do provide these services, but there are also people out there who are providing the idea of a vacation,
Hmm.
but not actually don't have those relationships. They don't have the ability to give you that hotel room for 79.99 on the beach, right? So I
Yeah.
think for that, you want to make sure that even if the site kind of feels like it could be real, you want to know for sure that it is, right? So do a little bit of research on that third party site. Know that they have that proven track record. You can look them up on bbb.org. But at bare minimum, don't just accept that the price listed is foolproof, because frequently we do hear from people who go to far-flung countries and unfortunately book through a site that isn't real for opportunities that don't exist.
Okay, gotcha. And then when you talk about be wary of false promises, what does that look like?
Yeah, so for a lot of folks, they are told that they are going to be able to do everything they could possibly want when they go on vacation, which is great in theory. But there are false promises, things like, being able to check out late, being able to check in early, being able to access amenities that might not actually exist for that property in question. So just having a general sense for what is the protocol, what is on your agenda, what's on your itinerary for when you go, is extremely useful. At bare minimum, you want to make sure that you at least have an opportunity to have a conversation with the person who is selling you the property if it's an Airbnb. You also want to make sure that you have a general sense for what that cancellation policy looks like.
Sure.
Would love to know that 70-degree temperatures are going to stay in the forecast for forever. But we also know living in Nebraska sometimes means that things come up, and
Yeah.
you want to make sure that property in question is going to allow you to get out of that contract if something were to arise. And
Yeah.
frankly, a lot of these opportunities are discounted because they don't provide that exit language.
Yeah, good call. Good call there. So read between the lines if you can. Also, we also talk about don't feel pressured by that sense of urgency, right? So if someone's just going, Josh, I've got this great deal for you, man. All you got to do is sign right here. Don't even worry about reading it. You'll be fine. Kind of a red flag.
It is, and frankly, Jacqueline, that's been used for generations, right? There's a reason why people use it. It's because when it's act now, or the deal's going to fall through, people instinctively feel like, well, I guess I need to make this decision in the moment, even though in a vacuum, I would never make a decision like this, right? It
Hmm.
accelerates people to make decisions that they otherwise wouldn't. So if somebody is putting you under pressure, if they're using aggressive sales tactics, it's usually because they're trying to hide a lot of fine print or a lot of information that could be useful for you while you try to make that determination for yourself and your loved ones. So make sure that you're at least giving yourself time to do research and to make the decision on your own terms and not on someone else's, because this is your trip and
Right.
you deserve to have ownership of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's your vacation, so make sure that you're getting what you expect and what you believe you signed off on. So perfect. All right, well, spring break today here in Nebraska, and then hopefully it'll stay like you mentioned. But Josh, thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate those tips, especially for those college students out there who maybe this is their first trip, traveling internationally or traveling with friends, etc. So good to know.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Jacqueline.
All right, of course. Have a good day. All right, so if you are just joining us, that was our Josh Planos from the Better Business Bureau giving us some spring break tips for mainly college students or just anyone really. But, if you are planning on traveling, a few things to look out for before you're sipping on those pina coladas on the beach, so to speak. So, and also just have to incorporate the weather into today. If spring break weather around the country was like it is outside here in Omaha, I'm set, right? So let's take a closer look at the weather right now. We're going to take a live look outside from our Blackstone camera. Again, just a gorgeous day out there. The sun is shining. It's sunny and breezy out there with a record high potential. So right now, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord anticipates a high of 79 degrees in the metro, and that would beat the record set in 1967 for 77 degrees. So keep that in mind. I mean, it could be a record-setting day for sure. As we take a look from our Children's Nebraska camera, here's what we can expect tonight. Mostly clear with a low of 35. Gosh, still sounds just wonderful. And then Tuesday, as we look at 144th and Dodge, mostly sunny with a high of 56. And then let's take a look at 90th and Dodge while we're at it. I'm getting a live look happy over here, but still bear with me. It's just a beautiful day out there. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 69. So far so good. It doesn't appear that there are any first alert weather days happening anytime soon, but of course, as we always know, that could change with a drop of a hat. So something that our meteorologists are working consistently on to make sure that you are up to date and prepared for any foul weather that may come our way. For more information on different stories of the day that we're working on, you can always head over to firstalert6.com. This is really where you can get the latest and greatest, I'd like to say, and kind of, I'll leave this as a web extra for you to kind of scroll around and decide what you'd like to see. But in the meantime, we do hope you'll stay with us for our 3 p.m. broadcast. That's with Dave Zavolinsky. And enjoy the sunshine out there and the warmth, especially while we have it, and have a wonderful day.